All right. Whoops. Sorry. My stand is falling apart a little bit. You guys can come in, you just have to be quiet. Okay. Well, let's get started. Okay, so I've been back and forth on what color to use for this. Light green or dark green. Because I was originally gonna use a different stitch, but I found this stitch that I thought would be so fun to use. So we're gonna do a padded satin stitch for these leaves. So we're just gonna use one color. I think I'm gonna go with the dark green because let's do the dark green. So let's go with the 935. This is how I store my threads. I just rewrap it around that. Oh, yay! People are here. I was talking to myself for a minute. Hello, friends. What do you need? Okay, go play. Okay. So, let's do it. I don't know when you guys started listening. Happy Friday to you. But we're going to do a padded satin stitch for these. So let's do it. So when I was practicing, I did it with 4 and 6 strands, and 6 was really puffy and 4 was less puffy, but it was a little bit more manageable. So I think I'm going to use 4 and, we can go from there. Go ahead. I've got all 3 of my kids home today. All right. So for a padded satin stitch, we are going to first outline. I'm just going to do one at a time. So I tried outlining all of them and then padding and then like satin stitching them. And it was harder. So I'm just going to do one at a time. So we're just going to do a back stitch on these. You can outline these however you want. So if you like a stem stitch or a chain stitch or whatever, you can outline these however you want. The purpose is just to create some stitches that will help raise up our satin stitch so it's padded. And I just think the back stitch is simple. So that's what we're gonna do. And I need to redo my nails again, look already. And I haven't even been picking at them. I always pick at my nails. And I have been so good to not pick at these ones, but I'm gonna start picking at them now that they're like chipping. Oh man, that tail. Darn, I was hoping I could pull that tail back down. Hold on. The tail of my knot got pulled up into that stitch and now it's just there. Okay. All right, so after we outline it, then we're gonna do some stitches in the middle. They don't need to be anything special, just like some straight stitches so we have something underneath to create that padded look. Oop. Okay, whoops. So there we go. And then what we're gonna do is satin stitch over the top. So we're gonna go horizontal and we're gonna go on the outside of our outline. So just to the outside of it and then over the top. And that will create like a padded. Hey Gemma? What? Can you please go play in your room?
I need to grab a plate. Let me check. Time, Mom.
So then we're just gonna satin stitch right over the top of this. So try and keep your stitches like right next to the outline so that we can keep that shape. So you kind of have to be pretty mindful of where you're coming up and going down. Otherwise we lose that, shape. See, if we had outlined that big one already, then we would be having some struggles right now. So I've drawn these a little bit too close to be stitched like this, so we're gonna have to like redraw them a little bit.
What is your tape?
Take it to your room, please.
Okay, then I'm taking the shot.
That's fine. Just be careful, please. Now we have this cute, puffy little leaf. There. One leaf done. So I was also, let me find my pen. I was also thinking you could do some lighter green and some darker green if you wanted to. I'm just gonna redraw this a little bit further out here. And then I'm just gonna skip that tiny one. Okay, so we're just gonna do the same thing and outline it and then do, can you still see that? It's kind of dark in here today. I don't know why, it's super sunny outside. So I'm stitching like right next to this one, but just over slightly so that I have some space to satin stitch this. So I'm just gonna do this second leaf and then we'll move on to the bird. Ooh, this would kind of be fun for the bird too. Now that I think about it. And I like to start in the middle when I do things like this, and I'm not sure why, but it makes me feel better about things, so that's what I'm doing. And then we'll do the bottom half. Sorry, this is at a weird angle. I have a hard time seeing this side. This one's easier to hold in my hand than to have it in a hoop stand. And I feel like I could probably use a visit to the eye doctor. I feel like I almost need glasses. Maybe just while I'm stitching, I need glasses. Whoop. Almost there. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna do off camera, I'm gonna do another one here and then another, just a little one over here. And then depending on how it looks, I might do a fifth one just right here. But I'm just gonna keep going like that. Okay. I'll post a picture of that when I finish it. But let's do this bird. I have been back and forth on how to stitch this bird so many times. I think it would be really, really, really cool if you had the if you liked the thread painting and split stitch with the hand, I think that would look really cool on the bird as well. You could even like get if you have a darker color, like do the wing a different color like that. But I am not doing that. So my other ideas, before I landed, I'm gonna do a brick stitch. My other idea was to do seed stitches. So if you want to look up seed stitches, it's just like a bunch of teeny tiny little stitches in there. I ultimately decided that's just too small of a space to do that. So if you feel like doing that, I would just use like 1 or 2 strands, outline it, and then do some seed stitches with 1 or 2 strands. Probably 2, but what did I say? Brick stitch. Okay, so I'm gonna start down here. And brick stitch is just like it sounds. We're gonna do stitches that lay like bricks. So I'm just gonna do 2 back stitches down here. And then the next stitch, we're gonna come up on the edge and we're just gonna go halfway across this first stitch. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you the color. I'm using 4 strands of the 728. 6 strands I think would just be too bulky. Okay, so we went halfway to this stitch. So now we're gonna go halfway through this stitch and bring it backwards to this one. And then we're just gonna keep going with that same pattern. So we're gonna take this one and go to the edge. And then this next one, we can go right here where we went with this first one. So I'm gonna come up in the middle of this one here and out to the edge. And then middle to the edge. I've got a knot back here, hold on. I really like brick stitch for lettering, like if you have big thick letters, it's really fun for that. I really like it as a filler stitch. It goes fairly quickly and it creates a really nice texture. You could use this like for a basket as well if you didn't like the basket weave. This kind of gives a weaved look kind of effect. So you could use it for that. But I thought it'd be fun for this bird. But do you see once you get some layers in there, it looks like brick. Which I think is really fun. So once we get up to the tail, I'm just gonna satin stitch that so it won't be anymore. I don't know how to do a brick stitch up that teeny tiny tail. And you could get technical and start doing a few more bricks if you wanted to, but I just don't think that's totally necessary. What's up, buddy?
Every paw.
Good job.
Well, I did toilet paper.
You used some toilet paper?
Yeah.
Okay.
A water paper.
Oh, please don't do that.
What?
Okay, go play. We can talk about it when I'm done. Oh, goodness. Okay, so just make sure you're staying right on that line so you can keep that shape. So now that we're done with the body, I still want to keep this brick line right here. So I'm gonna do just one all the way across. And then the next line will just have the 2 stitches, so it's gonna be 2 bricks. And I am just gonna finish it with just 1 stitch here too. I'm not gonna do an extra brick stitch there. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back over here and I'm just gonna satin stitch this tail. So, because I don't think I can do small enough stitches that it will look right if I try and do a brick stitch here. And that will be the end. Oh, we saw the shelves. I lied. We're not done. I don't know why I keep forgetting about those shelves, but I do. Okay. That is it. Oh, I'm gonna do one more. That is it for the bird. She's cute. I like that texture. So you could totally just satin stitch this whole thing too if you wanted. I just wanted to do something fun. All right, so let's do our shelves. I'm gonna turn my hoop. Hold on, let me tie this yellow off. I forgot. Oh, let's see. I don't have scissors over here. Hold on. Okay. All right. Let me just get this string out of our way. Sometimes I like to wrap it around the top just to keep it out of the way because I'm not done using that. I'm gonna finish my leaves, but I want it out of my way. Okay. Then I won't get caught in the other stuff we're working on. All right. Let's move this as well. Okay, so we've got our little shelves. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch with the 738, which is what we did for our hoop, because my basket is this lighter brown. I was originally gonna do lighter brown for that, for the shelves, but because that is brown and that is brown, I'm gonna use this lighter. Okay. Now that you've learned a few different stitches, I'm gonna do a brick stitch, just 2 lines of brick stitch for this. But you could use a stem stitch, you could do a whipped back stitch, you could do a chain stitch, whatever you liked best, use that. Just go with it. But I thought brick stitch would be nice. A nice way to kind of make them look like wood without being too in your face. I'm gonna do fairly large stitches. Let's see how straight our line is. Well, it might be a little bit crooked. So I'm gonna do fairly large stitches. But I want them to be the same length. So from here to here. And then when I do the row below, then they'll just go in between. But I think that this space is long enough that we don't have to we don't have to do itty bitty stitches unless you feel like it. And then feel free. Just pulling that tail from the back. My stitches are not super the same. Once you get that second row though, you won't be able to tell as much. And that's just not something that I'm super duper worried about, so. So I think you could even make these bigger if you wanted to, like double this length.
Mom,
Yes, dear.
what are you doing?
In about 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whoop. Dun, dun, dun. Does anyone have any fun plans this weekend? We don't. Next weekend, I'm going to my first market, though, which I am really excited about. Okay. So, our first row is done. You could leave it like that, too. Back stitch it and be done. I am going to still do my brick stitch. So I'm going to come up in the middle and go to the end. And then just back stitch midway to midway. I just wanted this shelf to be a little bit thicker than just one strand or like one line. I don't want it to be overpowering either though. So, and I used 6 strands. I don't know if I said that. I'm pretty sure I did, but if I didn't, I'm using 6 strands. So you could even mix colors if you wanted. Do some like we did here and do a lighter color and a darker color. I'm kind of liking just this light. I won't bore you and make you watch the bottom shelf. It's gonna be the same. All right, one more stitch. Okay, that's it, my friends. So let me just show you a little closer. Just looks like that. Cute little brick stitch. Woo! So that's it. That is our cute little bookshelf. So I'll post a picture when I'm done. I'm just gonna do this shelf down on the bottom, and then I'm gonna finish my 2 or 3 more leaves over here, and then I'll post my stories. Monday I will be back at 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time to talk about erasing your lines and finishing the back of your hoops. So If you're not sure how to do that, I will be here to help you through it. So have a good weekend. Thank you so much for joining in. I love stitch-alongs, and they are only possible because of you joining in. So thank you very much, and I can't wait to see your finished hoops. Talk to you later. Bye.